Hi everyone, George Farmer here at Aquarium Gardens, and welcome to part 4 of our hardscaping series. So we've talked about selecting hardscape, why we need to use hardscape, common mistakes that's used in choosing hardscape. We've used aquascaping with rocks, which is called irigumi. Talks about aquascaping with wood, which is called ryoboku. And today we're going to combine that and aquascape with wood and rocks. Okay, so first of all we need to kind of plan our aquascape. And when I plan an aquascape I think about composition. And there are 3 main types of composition in aquascaping. U-shape, which we did in the wood only. Island, which is like it sounds, an island surrounded by just the substrate generally. And triangular. Today I'm going to look at triangular composition using wood and rocks, and the first thing I'm going to do is put the rocks in and then I'll build up with the wood after that. Okay, so first of all we need to choose our rocks. Now I'm going to use mini landscape rock again. It's a really lovely rock to use. We look for textures, we look for interests, we make sure the most interesting side is facing us. I won't go into too much detail because you can look at part 2. I'm going to build up a triangular shape on the left, so start off with the biggest stone and then work my way down in size. There we go, and we can see we talked about strata as well in part 2, so we've got a natural line running there. It's a definite triangular shape, so I'm happy with that. Just a quick disclaimer as well, you know, aquascaping is all about personal taste. It's a very subjective art form, so you know what I'm doing might not be to your taste, but hopefully I'm just showing you some basic techniques which will hopefully help you guys in your aquascaping journey. So I've added another stone there. This is an interesting stone. It's added a little bit of what we call tension to the layout. If I put it this way, it follows the same path, but to me it looks a little bit boring. So I've deliberately offset it against this one, almost at a right angle, and that's what we call adding tension to the layout. So we're deliberately almost going against the grain, if you like, just to help create a little bit more interest. Just follow on from this stone here and just keep working my way down in size, picking up the rocks, looking at them, thinking, is that interesting, does that suit, does that look similar to the other rocks? See, this one for instance is very pale on that side and it kind of contrasts a little bit too much with these rocks here, so I'll probably put that one back. Also bear in mind when you're working with rocks, they do look very different when they're wet. So some people like just to give the rocks a bit of a spray, just so they can get an idea of what their rock looks like once it's wet. And like I said before in my previous videos, I'd normally take a lot longer doing this if I was at home, if I had a lot more time. But the basic principles are exactly the same. This is an interesting stone, flat. You can see we're following this definite strata here. Okay, I think that's enough for the rocks for now. Next step is adding my wood. Okay, so I've just reviewed the video footage back and I've noticed it looks really silly, too distracting. So I'm just going to pop that one there, which I think will probably look better. And I've noticed this is really quite offset, but I'm hoping by the time I've added the wood that will kind of blend it in a little bit so it won't be too bad. So the next thing I'm going to do is choose my wood. I've got so many different types of wood to choose. Honestly, I don't know what to go for. I think I'm going to start off with some manzanita. If that doesn't work out, we'll go on to a different piece of wood. I haven't planned this aquascape at all. It's literally just, you know, flying by the seat of my pants, if you like. And hopefully, you know, warts and all, so any mistakes I make are genuine and, you know, hopefully you can learn from them as well as me. So I'm just looking at some pieces of wood now and thinking what would suit. Now I think this one here looks nice. Talked about manzanita wood in part 1 of our series, a 4-part series. Now you'd like to have the wood almost hugging the rocks like it's a root, kind of naturally. Am I right to remove this label?
Yeah.
Hello lady, did you press the book?
Yes.
And just to prove we are live, there's a postman in here. Say hello, postman. So we've got our main bit of wood in there. I think that looks okay actually. And the wood, it looks quite pale at the moment. It will look a lot darker once it's soaked. So we'll just follow that kind of same principle and go for some smaller pieces. This is nice, it's got lots of interesting smaller branches on it. So that would look nice sort of coming out of the end. And you almost want the wood to look like one continuous branch. And what a common technique in aquascaping, especially modern aquascaping, is to deliberately use larger textures at the foreground and then work your way down to smaller textures at the background, and that kind of forces a false sense of perspective, an enhanced sense of perspective. So we'll go for putting that towards the background because that's the finest texture. And then if we go for like a...
Cheers, Ed. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. Have we got like a really kind of bulbous bit of manzanita which we can put right at the foreground just to... I think we have. I think that's the biggest piece, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll just keep adding some more smaller pieces, just to add a little bit more detail. So these pieces will range from, how much will these be, Dave? 10 quid up to 30, 40 quid?
Yeah, 15 to 30 quid.
15 to 30 quid. Okay, it's a beautiful wood to work with. You can attach mosses to it, other rheophyte plants. You know, I'd probably consider some, if this was my aquarium at home, you'd probably put this in a sort of a 90 centimetre layout, and I'd probably consider some ferns maybe. Especially my favourite fern is Microsorum trident, which has got like a nice fine textured leaf pattern. Put that one there.
That's good.
And then final piece, I think. Thanks, Dave. Okay, that's the rough idea. That's taken me what, 5 minutes to create, and that just shows if you've got good materials to work with, then hardscaping it isn't hard. You follow a few basic principles, think about your overall composition, make sure you choose the right hardscape, make sure you have enough of it, and make sure it fills the aquarium appropriately. So I'm just going to review the footage in a second. I think I'd be quite happy with that at home. That's a good test for me. If I've set up an aquascape somewhere or for someone else and I think, oh, I'd like that at home, that is kind of the acid test for me. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Dave, what do you reckon?
Yep, pleased.
Okay, so I've reviewed the footage. I'm really happy with it actually. So yeah, I hope you've learnt loads. It's been a 4-part series. I've really enjoyed making this series. You can look forward to loads more videos coming soon from the Aquarium Gardens YouTube channel and my own channel as well. If you enjoy what you see, please subscribe and share with your friends. And finally, keep on scaping. Cheerio.